Christmas cheer is already here in the Las Vegas Valley, and even though we might not live in a winter wonderland, there is a place where you can experience it here in the valley. With the new cell phone law now in effect, consumers are developing sweet tooths for Bluetooths and other hands-free devices. Next time you tell someone they must be from another planet, there might be a chance you're right. Albeit a very small one, as NASA announced they have discovered a new planet in a habitable zone. Waxing can be pretty irritating to the skin, especially when removing unwanted facial hair. However, there is an alternative that is less painful and more accurate. When you think of squatting, you normally think of an exercise. With the type of squatting I'm about to show you, it's an exercise, all right, an exercise in fraud and con artistry. I'm so surprised that this is coming out now. I mean, ramen noodles have been around for like 40 years, right? I hope this is not an indictment on our kids that they can't handle ramen noodles these days. Thanks, Byron and Michelle. Today kicks off homecoming week with festivities starting right outside the Student Union with the annual window painting and decorating contest. As you can see behind me, students are getting started on their painting right now. So many different events happening in the world, it could be hard to keep up with the news, especially international news. Reporter Eden Ben David brings you the latest on global events. Christmas cheer is already here in the Las Vegas Valley, and even though we might not live in a winter wonderland, there is a place where you can experience it here in the valley. Ethel M. Chocolate's botanical cactus garden features an assortment of desert landscape by day, but at night it's transformed into a holiday light show that is a sight to see.
Over 3.5 acres of desert landscaping, and every holiday season, this is our 18th year doing it, we decorate the garden. This year we have over 600,000 Christmas lights. We open it up to the public. It's a free event.
Although you won't find Douglas firs growing in the valley, you'll find plenty of cactus. So instead of a Christmas tree, you'll find a wide variety of Christmas cactus, which many tourists like just as much as the tree.
Every year actually almost seems to be even better. And we come out, we take the tour, and then they get to walk through and enjoy the lights. It's a nice way to spend the evening.
It's a good night out, hanging out with family and friends. It was colorful, lights were beautiful.
Even man's best friend enjoys a walk through the different assortments of lights and cacti.
It's a great night out. I'm a dog walker, so I always try and house sitter, so I always try and find something to do with all the dogs that I sit.
There is also a second tour that ends with a special treat.
You start out and you go through and you're in our kitchen, basically. You're looking into our kitchen, so you see the people making the brittle, and then you walk through and go into our molding lines where you see the chocolate being put into the molds, and then it goes through a cooling line, and then also at the end is our packing line, and that's where you get your sample of chocolate.
Everyone I spoke to who took the tour highly recommends it.
Even when we have family come and visit us from out of town, we bring them here. After Thanksgiving, we always come. It's kind of a tradition, actually.
Do you have enough room after Thanksgiving to hound down that chocolate?
There's always room for chocolate.
The tour is one of the few things you can enjoy with the family for free in Las Vegas and runs through the new year. Reporting for Studio G News, I'm Eric Cuomo. Have a happy holiday season. Occupy Las Vegas occupied downtown on Thursday, where around 75 protesters demonstrated outside the courthouse. The demonstration came on the heels of violence breaking out during the Occupy Wall Street protest in New York last week. Occupy Las Vegas was nonviolent, which was one of the goals of the event.
They're doing civil disobedience to try to get attention from our federal government, from our federal representatives like Harry Reid. The point of it is kind of to tell them, we need you to do more than what you've done.
The 99%, as the group refers to themselves as, sees what they are doing as the only way to convey their message.
This seems to be our only avenue of recourse is, civil disobedience and public protest.
Although lots of violence has surrounded Occupy events around the country, the people who support the movement say it's the exception and not the rule.
The best way to make progress and get real change is to push the boundary, but to do so in a nonviolent way, all the way up to the point, but not crossing the point where justified police retaliation comes into play.
Unlike previous Occupy events here in Las Vegas, this was the first in which arrests were made.
The statute requires you to disperse upon being commanded to do so. You are hereby commanded to disperse immediately.
It's always Metro's responsibility here is just to keep the peace and ensure safety. And we feel we had an excellent event today. There were no injuries whatsoever. We did have 21 arrests made. At a certain point, the protesters went out onto Las Vegas Boulevard and sat down. We gave them 3 warnings. And then after about 10 minutes, then we started to make arrests.
All 21 of the protesters were charged with misdemeanors and will have court hearings at a later date. Reporting for Studio G News, I'm Eric Cuomo.